Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another live stream, another TWAB. We're gonna be reading through it. We're gonna be talking about some stuff today. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna be heading over to Twitch and helping people out if you need runs in the Vault of Glass or in Nightfalls too. So, hi everybody. We're gonna let everyone kind of get situated, get in. We're gonna read some TWAB. I'm gonna read some of the TWAB. It's gonna be great. It's TWAB day. Hope that you're doing great. Come on in, say hello. We'll get started. By the way, this happened, so that's fun. Oh man. The thing isn't terrible, but it's not the greatest thing in the world either. Like, I would never bring it into high-end PvP, but I would definitely bring it and have some fun with it, just bombing around, you know? Definitely have some fun where we're just bombing around. So yeah, pretty excited about having it. Do you guys want to see a little bit of it while we're waiting? We could go hang out. We could check it out. Hold on one second. Turn this down. Can't wait. How's it going, people? What's up? Hi, Lone Star. What's up? Guys, we're slowly getting to the point now where I am going to be coming in like full time. I'm going to actually have a whole video explaining what's going on with me, the channel, and everything else like that over the next couple of months. So I'm hoping we can start to kind of go crazy again like we did last summer. Last summer was absolutely epic in terms of our viewership, all the other things that happen along with it. So I'm really excited to get things rolling again. So I'm not sure why chat is not showing up in that, but it's showing up over here. So I'm not sure why. I'm gonna refresh this. Hopefully this refreshes it. It's actually correct. It's usually why I stream on Twitch, but that's all right. Congrats on hitting the weekly goal. Absolutely. Hi, everybody. Can't wait. It's going to be great. It's going to be freaking awesome, everybody. Can't wait till we have like nearly daily content. We're going to be rocking some stuff. I got to get the raid done in your third. Yo, I got my raid done on my third last night. How many runs until you got it? I got it on my third run. So 6 runs. So I'm just going to call it streamer luck, you know, streamer luck. Nice, you got mythic last. Yes, I always get the best loot when I'm not streaming. I was just like last night, I got off of work and I was doing a bunch of work in between. I think I got on at like 9:30 or something like that. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to stream. It's way too late. I'll do like an hour or two, and that's it. But then, yeah, it dropped and it was just like, yo. So I was pretty excited about it. So we got a big TWAB today, boys and girls, especially all those people who are like, yo, I hate Stasis. What's up, Joe? They should buff Stasis, not nerf it. Sarcastic. I hope so. It's a mythic class, not full auto anymore. Do you guys want to see some while we're waiting for people to kind of populate? I will go into a PvP game and I will get my butt kicked so you can all see what's going on. Yeah, we'll go run some. But yeah, it's not full auto anymore. Well, actually, it's full auto, but it's the second perk that's not full auto. So it's really kind of cool. So the way it works is that you overcharge it, you get a number of kills, and then you can basically turn it into a linear fusion rifle for free. Lucky I helped my team yesterday, got 5 catalysts. Nice. I still need to do mine. I haven't been able to get on, to be honest with you, chat. I haven't been able to get on at all. I got on Tuesday. What do we do? 4 hours? It's just been an insane week for me, and it's gonna start calming down. I have a big event tomorrow. Saturday and Sunday are kind of chill, so I'll be able to stream and make content. And then Monday I have a big event. Tuesday is where we hit the ground running. And again, I'll have a video for you this weekend so you all know what's going on. I think most people who are in here know what's going on, but at the same time, I don't want to dedicate this video to that because we're just letting people come on in. Guess they had to make it up to you for all the times you didn't get eyes. God, yeah. By the way, how do you guys think of my hunter? She looks hot, I think. What do you guys think? Like, I just like the subtle purple stuff. Like, she's got a knife. She's got glowy pants. She's also got spikes up here. Like, I don't think this is a girl you'd want to meet in an alley somewhere because I think she'd cut you. Hopefully it looks good. I think it does. All right. So let me just show you a little bit of the Stasis, a little bit of the Vex. I actually need to get a different shotgun and stuff like that. We'll let you take a look at it, and then we will go from there. But we're going to let people kind of get populated in here because I know I don't usually do these YouTube streams anymore. That is something that is going to be changing as we move forward. So I'm pretty excited about that. Get back to where we were last summer. That'll actually be in my video that I talk about. So I just need a shotgun, a shooty gun. I need a shotgun of some sort. Which one do we want to bring out? Astral? Oh, is this actually my good roll? This is actually my god roll, Astral. And I put it in the vault. GG's, mano. GG's. Cool, 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 cool. Surplus opening shots. I think actually this is the one you want, except it doesn't have assault mag, but it does have a range masterwork, so that's good. All right, so we're gonna go. I'll go show you how Mythic Last works in PvP. Okay, I'll let y'all check it out, and I'll use Stasis so we can talk about it. We could be like, "Yo, Stasis, everybody, what's going on, guys?" We are gonna go through the TWAB here in just a second. We're just letting people get on in the stream. Lady Assassin, exactly. Lady Assassin. The whole idea is that she's Psylocke, right? So she's like got the whole purple vibe going on, but she's like a guardian version of Psylocke. So she's got like the spiky, like crazy knives and shiz like that. Then we're going to talk about Stasis, everybody, because it is a big one. It is a big this week at Bungie. It is a big one, everybody. A lot to talk about. It's right here. I'm gonna show you a little bit of that, and then we'll talk about the this week at Bungie, because it's a pretty big one. I'm actually gonna skip a lot of the stuff in it because a lot of it is just like stuff that was on Twitter and stuff like that. So, you know, talking about it. All right, so if you guys look here, this is the deal about it, and I haven't made a review video on it because I just got it last night. But this is the thing that it has. It's called Temporal Unlimiter. Okay, Temporal Unlimiter. When you defeat target, it builds stack of overcharge. It's weird because I don't know why they stacked it the way it is. It's 6 to charge it up, and then after the 6, you press the R button, and then it's fully overcharged, and then you use it like a linear fusion rifle, and you get 3 shots that are like instant deaths. So I don't know. I want to try and make my hunter look like Reven. Shane, anytime you want to come over to the Twitch stream, that's where we do the helps and things like that. These are kind of news updates and things like that, so that's what we're talking about. So that's the dealio. All right, the Zer videos and weekly reset videos are going to be coming back starting on Tuesday. So next Tuesday I am going to be on super freaking early for a new weekly reset video. So Tuesdays and Fridays I'm going to be on YouTube. The other days, I'm going to be on Twitch. I'm doing a new podcast. I'm doing all sorts of crazy stuff. We are getting in there. Plus, there's apparently going to be a new Pinnacle activity. This is what it actually says in my title. And we'll talk about it. There's something new coming on June 15th on Reset, which I think is that whole secret Vex thing. Because they're talking about it being like a secret, or not a secret, a new Pinnacle activity linked to Expunge. So pretty excited about that. Again, we'll get into that in just a second. Okay, so let's just show you how Mythic Last works here. All right, just show you what Mythic Last looks like. Okay, if it loads us in. Oh, this is actually a decent map for it too. Anything in the side of the screen? No. Okay, so we're good. This is okay for this. It's okay because like if you get pushed, you can treat it. It's essentially submachine gun range. I feel like they need to buff the range on it in its basic general form. But after that, we need to do something a little bit different. Okay. See, like, it really can't go up against hand cannons, but that's also because hand cannons are insanely strong right now. I think hand cannons should have a pretty major health. Okay, that's laggy. Wasn't Expunge supposed to be the secret activity? No, it was always public. I'll talk about it here in the TWAB. I'm so toast if I go that way. He's gonna push around the corner. The teammates aren't helping, but that's all right. We're just showing you. I'm not playing PvP how I normally would. I'm just literally just trying to show you how the whole limiter thing works. See, like right there, like if you don't get headshot, and it's lagging for some reason. Hey man, I got solo flawless harbinger. Your guide helped me, but had to change for the seasons. Yeah, I'm gonna be making some different guide videos and things like that as we push forward through the new seasons. See, it's just kind of shit at this range. You need to be like pretty up close and personal with these guys. And see, at that point, then you can just punch them in the face. See, it's not that great in PvP. It's really not that good in PvP. It's interesting in PvE with solar activities. See, look at that range. It's pretty trash. Okay, so there's my overcharge. Get 2 kills. Did 6. I don't know where ribs is. I'm assuming that's VoG, but then it corrected. Can someone please explain that to me? How laggy he is? Oh, runs. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, G35 Freak. That's awesome, man. GG's. That's cool. That's good. Yeah, they're lagging all over the place. They're lagging all over the place. It's bad. 120s will always be better. That's why they need a significant nerf to range. That's my beef. I think I killed him. Yeah. But man, I'll tell you what though. Yeah, it's just so laggy. So it's not great, but it's one of those things. It's an interesting gun if you can get it to proc. 120s are always going to be better, chat. They're always going to be better because of this ability. The fact that they can just basically wiggle in and out of cover. God, they're laggy. All right, so there's one. I'm going to try and get out of there. Okay, I've got 3, so if I'm going to get another one, I can show you the cool perk of this weapon. And it won't because it's so laggy. I keep saying the range buff they had, but move them back to 110. I think they need to be at 120, though. I actually think they need to be 120s. I think they just need a major... I think all hand cannons need to have a significant range nerf. Like an auto rifle or a pulse rifle should beat them at ranges. I don't have a problem with the hand cannon meta, but it's all about timing. If you miss your timing, there's no surviving, honestly. To me, a hand cannon is a pistol. Like it's like a what would you say? Like a Magnum .50. Like it should kick like a mule when you're using it, you know? But that's just my opinion. Again, I'm not a PvPer. The reason why people like it is it's very unforgiving and there's a skill gap. That's one of the things that people enjoy about it. Whatever. He's the guy that lagged out earlier. See, like at that pulse rifle range, pulse rifles should actually be the longest. If you think about it, pulse rifles and scouts should be things that you can engage at a long distance and hand cannons can't engage with. But right now they can. They totally can.
Zone A lost. Enemy has advantage.
Criminy, it's laggy. And I'm perfectly fine, so... Once you go full-time and be available all the time for you, I'll try and be around for more helps during the stream. Yeah, well, the other thing is I'll be on earlier, too. Not only will I be on earlier for our European friends. Yeah, look at this shit. Like, what even is this? What is this life? Oh, good shit. No. Oh, I clicked into the wrong thing. 120 should not exist. It kills scouts. No, they just need to have a range nerf. Scouts should always beat them at range. That's the thing. But chat, do you see this? Do you see this? I don't even know who won there. You got Deadman's tail. It's a scout, but it's a scout rifle that's also it's an exotic, and it's a special exotic, and I feel like they're going to tame it. I feel like they're going to tame it down a little bit. So, guys dancing around the entire screen. I have no idea where he is. He's flying around. Oh my God. Look at him float. I have no idea where he is. Literally, fix your game. What is this? All right, I'm going to try and shotgun him. Okay, shotgun works. What are the times of your stream again? I'm going to have a set stream schedule as we get into full time. Generally, my streams are Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Generally. However, starting on Tuesday, everything is changing. So for those people who remember how it was in the summertime last year, that's what it's going to be like again. Like, yo, my Frenchie ass is here. Nice. Thanks so much for being here, man. All right, guys. I'm just showing how, like, and actually Cammy Cakes put out a really interesting video today about, you know, he says like a lot of people are like talking about like content creators in the PvP space are kind of clickbaity. And they're like, oh my God, I can't believe how good it is. And it's like, it's okay. It's fine. I want to see what it's like with the catalyst. That's really what I want to see it with, you know. I want to see that with the catalyst. I also want to see what happens when this isn't like super laggy. Fungo, what is even this life? Did you do day one VoG, Mana? We sure did. Actually, if you look in the YouTube shorts, which I did a YouTube short, I put it up incorrectly, but I actually made a vertical video that showed and highlighted what we did day one. What we actually did on day one. Are the stasis nerfs for PvP only? We'll go through all of it here as soon as this game is over. As soon as this game is over, I'm just showing a couple people what the Vex looks like. Again, I'm not utterly impressed. It's not broken, but it does have a unique perk to the gun that makes it interesting. Greetings from the Netherlands. Yo, awesome. The other thing is that bugs me is that I want to be able, if I'm using an auto life, oh my God. If I'm using an auto weapon, an auto rifle or something like that, or a pulse rifle, and I'm hitting a hand cannon user, they should not be able to recover. If I get the first shot, they should constantly have to be like getting their shots back into place. If you want to talk about a skill gap, then create a skill gap. Like right now, I could put on a hand cannon and just wreck. Well, as long as they're not, you know, lagging all over the place. Are the drop rates good? I've heard mixed. What made you go full time? That will be in my video that will go out on Saturday. Now, that's a perfect example of one of the things we're going to talk about tomorrow. This is my first time watching a stream of yours. Yo, welcome. Welcome. Okay, let's talk TWAB. Let's talk TWAB. Yeah, that was awful. See how it's not really that great of a weapon, but I could go and put on like any of these weapons and I could absolutely obliterate. Like a lot of it too is that map's not exactly forgiving for essentially a submachine gun range weapon. So, all right, guys, another week, another TWAB. It's time to talk about it. Let's get into it. All right. Let's see. Yeah, let's go about that big, huh? How's that look? Hashtag tease. You know it. This week at Bungie, does anyone know how to hide your bookmarks here? Isn't there a way to do that so I can just like have the bar? Like I like having these bookmarks here, but I'd rather just have them like on a different. It doesn't matter. This week at Bungie, we expose vulnerability in the Vex network. So, long story short, Vault's Glass came out. Cool. We all good with that? They did the raid day tailgate. All cool. Awesome things you should check out. You should definitely watch the trailer for it. It's pretty dope. Like we definitely did the year one or the day one run, which was a lot of fun, but this raid was a blast. One of the first things I'm going to talk about is the reason why Vault of Glass is so successful, even in D2. There's a huge amount of reasons why it's actually pretty successful as a raid, and a raid experience. F11 is full screen. Okay, give me a second. All right, that's not bad. Okay, cool. I'll use that from now on. GG's. Thank you. So again, Vault of Glass is a great raid. A lot of great memories. If you have not checked out the YouTube short, you should definitely do that when you get a second. And it should be under YouTube shorts at like the very bottom of the screen. F11. I got the pulse rifle from Last Wish and you're dominating. Yeah, pulse rifles are pretty good. Pulse rifles are good, but 120s are just better. They just need a range nerf. They just need to be nerfed. Vex is a blast. So I will say that when we'll leave some more of those other conversations and stuff like that. That jacket, by the way, I'm totally getting because that jacket is hot. The jacket in the ring, I'm getting it. Okay. So they kind of go through and they're like, yo, let's talk to the people who actually won and beat Atheon on day one, or day one and the second time. So Destiny 2's Vault of Glass, which is great. Congrats to them. They talk about their experience. They talk about all that other stuff. It's very cool. Very cool read. You should definitely check it out. This, though, is the beef that we're talking about. Slow down. I'm going to keep this short and introduce Sandbox lead Kevin Yanes to give you an update on Stasis on behalf of our gameplay team. They have a lot to say, so let's get down to it. Hey y'all, Kevin from the gameplay team here. I wanted to take a second to talk to you about Stasis, our vision for Guardian versus Guardian combat, and the road that gets us there. First, let's talk about Stasis, our 4th damage type in Destiny and the newest to join the fold. We've heard a lot about the feedback about Stasis since its launch alongside Beyond Light in Season 12, and we're using that feedback to help shape the future of the damage type. It's clear the vision we have for crowd control in PvE is succeeding, and players are finding it both useful and fun. We love how Stasis plays in PvE, and we want to preserve that experience, but we agree with many in the PvP community who say that Stasis is too dominant in the Crucible for too little effort or skill required. That is correct. Over the last few weeks, we've been open with talking with you about taking this feedback to heart and working hard to reel in this great new power. We adore the long legacy of Bungie PvP games, and we want that PvP combat sandbox to live up to that adoration. That means we want the Crucible to be as fun for as many players as possible, while also serving up these moments of skillful execution and incredible plays. It's a tightrope to walk, and frankly, we overcorrected during development when considering whether Stasis would live up to Arc, Stasis, or Solar, or Void. Stasis and crowd control are key components of the Destiny combat sandbox. They're not going anywhere, but meaning it's up to us to ensure Stasis plays well across all activities, regardless of skill level. What you'll find detailed in this TWAB is a series of changes we believe will more evenly position Stasis along Void, Solar, Arc subclasses as an equal option rather than the dominant one, while retaining what is fun about that ability set. So that's kind of exciting. I need a weapon. This is the part that excites me the most. Since Forsaken, we've been slowly creeping towards a Crucible where it feels like gunplay has taken a backseat to our sweet cosmic magical powers. We believe that this is the wrong place for the Crucible to be. That is probably the best thing that they have said so far. We want to shift the balance towards more weapons. To us, the Crucible plays best when weapons and abilities have complementary usage in any given encounter. When we set out to define what our vision for the future of Guardian versus Guardian combat, aka PvP, it boiled down to 4 key pillars. Weapons are the primary ways players engage with combat. Should be that way. Non-super abilities accentuate or augment the combat, but should rarely solve an encounter by themselves. Abilities have clear strengths, weaknesses, and counterplay. Build crafting is rewarding within the moment-to-moment combat loop of Destiny. Behind the scenes, we've been executing on these pillars by planning out a roadmap of patches that we believe will not only get Stasis to where it needs to be for PvP, but also sets up the PvP sandbox in a meaningful way towards more gunplay. Our first patch in this roadmap was released in March and was developed separately alongside Season 14. Unfortunately, due to the pieces already moving at that time, some changes were made that buffed Stasis and were not consistent with our goals. We're working hard to ensure that when we release hotfix patches, we can realign all of those moving pieces to exist more cohesively. Please pardon the dust as we get more work done to get fixes and new features out to you in a timely manner. Next, we have some details for next week's hotfix. This is going out next week. This is in 5 days. 4 days? 4 days. As you'll see, there are lots of changes to go over there, and they're all focused on Stasis. This patch is something we've moved up from Season 15 to help smooth over some of the pain points that players have been feeling. It's important to note here that shifting our focus like this comes at a considerable cost to our team, so it's unlikely that mid-season patches of this scope will become a regular occurrence. So in other words, they'll look at it every season and they'll start to get into it, which is great. Once this patch is shipped, we'll be diving into Season 15, where we're planning to deliver another balance patch focused on updates to light subclasses while continue to iterate on Stasis. The goal here is to address some of the key pieces of feedback and make more of the light subclasses viable across the game. After Season 15, things become a little bit more nebulous because we're still early in development. What I can talk about with our areas of focus to help paint the picture of where we're headed, we'll be looking at ability regeneration rates and redesigning how the ability energy economy works across the game. Our goal here is to keep the PvE experience largely similar to the state of the game today, but reduce how much abilities are used in the Crucible. After that, we'll be taking a long, hard look at Void, Solar, and Arc subclasses to re-examine each subclass path and how they fit into the combat sandbox. I know some of this feels like a tease, and I hope to speak to all of you again in the future when we have more to show. Like Joe mentioned in our Beyond Light Vidoc, Destiny's best days are still ahead of us. I truly believe that. Our love for this game burns bright. I hope what's written above speaks to that and inspires you all the way I feel inspired when I think of our future. With that, I'll hand it over to our gameplay designer, Eric Smith, to talk you through our upcoming balance patch. So that was a whole lot of stuff just saying, you know what? This is our vision for the beginning of PvP. This is the way we want to see things go. We've been listening to you. We want to see these things change. We want to reiterate and we want to return to what we were good at. And I actually think that that's probably the biggest thing that they said. The fact that they just literally said this to us, we believe this is the wrong place for the Crucible to be. There was no better way for them to say it than that. We believe this is the wrong place for the Crucible to be because it is. There's just so little that you can do to win engagements now. And even though there really isn't a skill gap between like using Stasis and not, there are people who abuse Stasis to the point where you can't do anything. And some of you saw Jay Overrated's video about freezing someone. He froze a person 8 times. They were helpless. There was nothing they could do. How do you fight against that? Now, there are some ways like you would fight an engagement and stuff like that. And, you know, you're going to lose. And that's fine because maybe you were out of position. The guy was out of position, but he froze him really quickly around a corner. I think it was on it was one of the not Venus maps. Geez, I've been playing Vault of Glass too much. It was on one of the Nessus maps, and I forget which one it was, but it was just insanely powerful. And he just froze him 7 times. Threw a grenade, chucked a grenade, put his well down, used the sidearm, just tons of things, just silly. So I am glad that they are identifying that that is not right. So Eric Smith is here. He's one of the sandbox folks. They're going to put out a balance patch on Thursday, June 3rd. I will also be on live that day. So you want to make sure you check in on Tuesday and Thursday. So you want to make sure you're there with us. Okay. So we're still hard at work on additional ability changes that will launch in season 15 and 16, but Stasis is going to get into the hands sooner rather than later. Without further ado, here are the changes. Here's everything you need to know about Stasis starting on Thursday. So next Thursday. So I guess it's actually going to be 7 days. So we have 7 days. I'm sorry, I had to do it. Stasis freeze. Reduced duration of all non-super freezes versus players to 1.35 seconds. That's huge. Like, all non-super freezes are 1 Mississippi. You're out. So you'd still have that crowd control element there, but you have to do a lot to get a non-super freeze. This freeze is too short to break out of, so breaking out is now only possible when frozen by super. In other words, you're just going to freeze and then you just snap out of it. You don't have to break it, which is nice, because how many of you have tried to break out of something, break out of a freeze, and nothing happens, right? You just sit there for a while and you're mashing the button, or you're like, oh, please, please, please let me out. Now you don't have to worry about that. The only time you have to worry about it is when you're frozen by a super, which, again, we're going to talk about here in a minute. Reduced special weapon, heavy weapon, and light ability bonus damage versus frozen players from 50% to 5%. That's good. That's great. That's the way it should be. If you use your primary weapon, sure, that's good. But anything other than that, nah. Stasis slow. No longer reduces weapon accuracy. Now increases weapon flinch when under fire. No longer suppresses class ability and air moves. It was funny how many of the Warlock mains freaked out. Now, I'm going to say this because I personally think that Top Tree Dawnblade needs a nerf, and I firmly believe that it is going to get one. You know how they said that they were going to re-identify some of the patches, and again, I'm not saying it because I hate Warlocks or anything else like that. I'm saying that as I look at the game and the conversations that people are having, Top Tree Warlock, Top Tree Dawnblade with Icarus Dash is really powerful. It's the only subclass that people will choose because you have the 2 dashes and you can literally just fly across the map. If you're a high skilled player, you can understand how to do that. I think one of the ways to solve that issue is, again, they're going to take away one Icarus dash. So you have one, not two. Anyway, so it's just funny how the whole PvP community, as soon as Icarus dash got nerfed, or not get nerfed, as soon as it got affected by Stasis, then people just lost their minds. It was just funny how that worked out. Known issue. The Stormcaller's ionic blink is still suppressed when slowed. We plan to address that in a future release. Reduced movement speed penalty while slowed is about 20%, so that's not terrible. Whisper of Hedrons, or Hadrons, no longer increases weapon damage after freezing. Great. Awesome. Now, this is my only thing. They don't... I believe these are all specifically PvP. I think everything in the game right now that they're describing is only in the Crucible. It's only in the Crucible. As I read this, the combat team is currently working on Stasis gameplay abilities aimed at improving the Stasis Crucible and Stasis experience in the Crucible. So this is something that I believe is only tied to Stasis in PvP. I don't know how it's going to work in Gambit. I would think that since Gambit is a PvEP activity, that some of these things against Guardians would probably apply. And it depends how they work out the code. Because if the code is Guardians versus enemies and enemies, like how all that works, that's different. That's going to be the real question. How does this all work in Gambit? Because, I mean, how many people play Gambit? I play Gambit. I actually like Gambit. Now, we could use some new maps. That would be really nice. Next season would be great if we just had a whole bunch of like new PvP maps, Gambit maps. Like, just bring some stuff back to us. I'll design your maps for you, Bungie. I'll do it. I've got time now. All right, I'll do it for you. Community will do it. All right. Whisper of Rhyme fragment no longer provides an overshield while in super. Great. It shouldn't have, an overshield like in PvP right now is insanely strong. And if you have an overshield, you should either gain it because of something that you did or a negative feedback, that negative piece that you do. So say, for example, you get your overshield when you use Icefall Mantles. If you do that, you're slowed, right? If you get an overshield, it's usually because you're in a bubble, or you get an overshield from like using an exotic and you go against another player that you kill or something like that. That's actually the way it should be. You shouldn't just get it for free. Cold Snap Grenade. This is going to be really helpful for a lot of people. Seeker no longer tracks targets after initial target acquisition. Increased arming duration before Seeker spawns from 0.3 seconds to 0.8 seconds. Reduced detonation radius versus players from 3 meters to 1.5. It now bounces off of walls and detonates on the ground. Now, why is that important? Because a lot of times people would get frozen around the wall. So say for example, you're on dead cliffs, right? If you are inside an area and some people are by the door and you want to engage them, you know, without seeing that thing coming, what will happen is you can throw it on the wall, and the wall, it won't hit the ground. It'll actually track across on the actual map, on the actual environment, and it will freeze someone. They'll have no way to see it really. It'll just come out of the door and be like, oh my gosh. So now this is actually a nice way, because then you'll at least be able to see it on the ground before it happens. All right. Titan Behemoth. Looking at the recent gameplay data, the Behemoth generally has the highest win rate of any subclass in most 6v6 game modes, and it's also the strongest or long 3v3 modes, because its mobility is absolutely insane, as is its super. In Trials of Osiris matches, for example, only Top Tree Dawnblade has a higher win rate. Remember how I told you Dawnblade's going to get nerfed? Right there is their hint. I'm telling you right now, Top Tree Dawnblade's going to get nerfed. So if you are someone who is playing Top Tree Dawnblade, prepare yourself. I am telling you right now, it will get nerfed. Either that, or they'll buff other players to, or buff other things to go along with it. I'm just telling you now. We've taken these strengths into account when balancing the Behemoth's abilities. Between Shiver Strike and Chiroclasm, the Behemoth has incredibly high mobility, making targeting the Behemoth frustrating for controller players in particular. What they mean by that is that because of the input that controller players have, and the fact that you can't flick, like you like if you've got a mouse and you want to flick around really quickly, you can do that really quickly. That's the reason why they've locked, by the way, they've locked PvP players or mouse and keyboard players out of console, is because they don't want people to have that advantage on console, which is frustrating because I'd like to play console using something that's comfortable to me. But I get it. Some people are like, oh my gosh, you got an advantage, but then you have aim assist on controller. It is what it is. We've taken steps to make the behemoth more targetable while moving, which should hopefully alleviate some of this frustration. Reduced flight speed and distance for Shiver Strike. Reduced knockback versus players. Removed slow detonation on player impact. This, I don't know how I feel about this one. Chiroclasm now requires the Titan to sprint for 1.25 seconds before activation while not in super. Removed the cooldown. That confuses me. So let's actually do this real quick. F11. Right. We go. I'm gonna check something, chat. I'm gonna swing over to my Titan real quick. I'm confused about that because why would they take that away? You know what I mean? Why would they take that particular piece away? I don't understand. That's the thing that I don't understand. Why would you remove the cooldown? I feel like you can get 2 slides. I feel like 2 slides is fair. You know, if you're going to give, or maybe a slide. I don't know. I literally used 99% of my engagements that I've been playing since Destiny 1. Yeah. Yeah, 100% exists. Secret mission. Yes, we're going to talk about that. It's later on in the TWAB. I'll talk about it. It's June 15th, by the way. 2 days after my birthday. Yeah, I'm just going to go to my Titan real quick. So, we're just going to go here to the Cosmodrome real quick. Yeah, Cosmodrome's fine. Probably not a lot of people there. There's a public event there too. So this is kind of my question for them. I don't understand. So I'm not sure why the Chiroclasm is going to get that slidey piece. Like, I don't understand why they're going to basically remove the cooldown. Because at that point, then you can basically 1 Mississippi slide, 1 Mississippi slide, 1 Mississippi slide. You'll still get a lot of movement from there. So I think that they're still going to see a lot of usage on this, even though the melee is going to get toned down. So, for example, if I do this, I can instantly slide 1. I can instantly slide, but there's a 4-second cooldown. So let's imagine I slide. No miss. I have to move for 1 second. 1 Mississippi slide. 1 Mississippi slide. 1 Mississippi slide. I actually feel like your distance is going to be about the same, just in general. Like, I feel like your distance is going to be the same. I think that they should remove the put the cooldown back in. So let's just imagine, chat. So I'm here. It's about 1 second, right? So 1 Mississippi, 1. Okay. So like 1 Mississippi slide, 1 Mississippi slide, 1 Mississippi slide. Like, I still feel you're going to get an crazy amount of mobility out of that. And only having to run a little bit, maybe if they made the running a little bit stronger. I will say this, it will be nicer to be able to control when I want to do that. That is definitely something I've thought about, is the fact that like sometimes I'm here, and if I want to slide, as soon as I go forward and I sprint just a little bit, I'm instantly moving. So I do think that that's actually just a control life balance. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think that that's gonna be an interesting, like, I want to come back to that. I don't feel like that was enough of a nerf. I feel like people are gonna say that it's still overly powerful, but that's just me. Okay. Howl of the Storm. Reduced angle of initial freezing damage cone. Reduced crystal creation freezing radius. Slow down sequence of crystal formation to allow victims more opportunity to escape. Now spawns a small crystal on walls if performed into walls. That's interesting. So like it'll be kind of like come out, like, because right now the crystal goes like this, just straight up when you're in the Howl of the Storm. So instead there'll be like a thing like this that'll come out of the walls. So I'm interested in how that's going to play out, because that's definitely annoying. Slow down the sequence of the crystal formation. Yeah, because it's almost instant right now. It's almost instant. Glacial Quake. Reduced heavy slam vertical freeze range versus players. Reduced damage resistance from 50 to 47%. I would have increased tracking on it. Like, there's definitely something that makes it so it's hard to track the super. And I maybe would have made, anytime you do the melee, like, I would definitely like look at that being as something that would take a lot more super energy, because that's what happens. People just slam the super and they just they go all the way over the map. You know what I'm saying? So what's up, Ansem? Hunter Revenant. The Revenant's Crucible win rate, kill per minute, and average efficiency is generally within the top 6 of all subclass trees, but its usage is incredibly high because it's an incredibly strong support class and finishing class. In Trials of Osiris, it has the 5th highest win rate of any subclass tree, but it is used by a whopping 36% of Trials players. Its high usage means players fall victim to its abilities more often, multiplying the frustration of being slowed by Withering Blade and Winter's Shroud. Withering Blade is the projectiles. Winter's Shroud is the whole super piece. We hope that the changes we've made to being slowed paired with the adjustments to the Revenant's ability make this experience better. Reduced slow duration versus players from 2.5 seconds to 1.5. That's fine. I actually don't think it should be. I actually don't think that there should be a slow at all in PvP. I think that it should be something that tracks and does damage to you. Kind of like how the Celestial Fire from the Dawnblade comes out. That would actually be huge. Reduced Whisper of Durance, slow duration extension versus players from 2 seconds to 2.5. Reduced damage versus players from 65 to 45, which is great. After one bounce, reduced further to 30. Yes, 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 yes. Reduced projectile speed by 10%, reduced tracking after bouncing off a wall. This right here is the reason why so many people use it up, because people will get into engagements, they'll backflip out, they will basically freeze the people who are next to them, chuck a couple shurikens, and they win. And there really isn't anything you can do because the tracking is so strong and the damage doesn't change. So I do think that this is an excellent move. This is good. This is a great first step. I'd like to see if they can. 30 is pretty strong still, even after a bounce. I would turn that down to 15. If you need a bounce, or if you need multiple bounces to get to where it needs to be, it should be toned down even more, in my opinion. Okay, Winter's Shroud. Reduced slow duration versus players from 2.5 seconds to 1.5. Reduced Whisper of Durance slow duration. I think I actually covered that. Touch of Winter. Cold Snap Seeker no longer has increased movement speed or travel distance. Cold Snap Seeker now spawns a small stasis crystal on detonation. Shadebinder, which I actually am annoyed by the most. I'm actually not so bummed by Titan and Hunter, mostly because I use them a lot. Penumbral Blast is just stupid, chat. It's just silly. The Shadebinder's Crucible performance is generally within the top 10 of all subclass trees. In Trials of Osiris, it had the 9th highest win rate of all the subclasses tree. By the way, I'm pulling this from the weekend of 5/14/21, but it generally doesn't deviate between weekends. VoG launch weekend shook things up a bit though. While the Shadebinder may not be the most powerful in competitive play, being frozen by its abilities takes a large emotional toll on the victim. It does. When you take the ability for people to move in the game and to interact with the world that they are in, they want to throw their controllers at the screen and GTFO. That's what they want to do. We've adjusted Penumbral Blast to require more accuracy versus players in order to turn this ability into more of a skill shot, given its powerful effects. Love it. Reduced tracking and proximity detonation size and tracking versus players. Perfect. What it should be already. Reduced freeze radius versus players when impacting the environment from 2.7 meters to 1.5. Seeker now only chains once when spawned from a player's shatter on ice flare bolts. Winter's Wrath. Freezing projectile tracking strength now ramps down to 0 after 2 seconds of flight. I love it. You have a chance to get away. And that's Stasis, guys. I hope we're getting there, because I get what they tried to do with Stasis. The idea with Stasis is to make it that all these enemies and stuff like that come at you, and you have the ability to slow them down in PvE, and you can control where they're at. You can slow them down, kind of like slow down their movement, and then you can start to control the situation. If you play Magic the Gathering, it's like a blue deck. It's a control deck. That's what Stasis is. And it's the most infuriating thing to play against if you don't have good counterplay, which is the reason why a lot of things in the blue... Again, I don't even play Magic the Gathering, but I know about it because my brother knows about it, and he talks about it all the time. He loves blue decks. But like, if you're using a deck like that, or anything that like controls the situation and keeps other people from doing things, it can really feel annoying to play against. It's not fun. So definitely something to think about. Expunge. This is this whole secret mission thing I was talking about, chat. So stay with me. Here we go. Our new Expunge mission went live this week as part of the weekly seasonal quest. We hope that you're enjoying directly infiltrating the Vex network to venture inside the computer, whatever that means. We've caused a bit of confusion on rewards by referring to this as a weekly Pinnacle mission. We wanted to give you a better idea of what kind of sweet loot you can expect to extract from this new mission over the weeks to come. Here is senior designer Mike Profita to share some reward details with you. With the removal of seasonal armor and the season pass reward track, we still wanted to provide players with a way to earn a full set of high stat seasonal armor. By the way, they removed the seasonal armor so that people couldn't backfill and get their characters up to the light level that they wanted. By the way, that's in my leveling video, how to level and get ready for season 14. That's exactly what I was talking about. One of the things is you can just backfill, grab that armor, and you literally just plug it in wherever you need it, and you'll just level up. So they're removing those because they realize that like people can level up insanely fast. But again, that's a problem with the game because there's problems with leveling in Destiny, not necessarily like the reward path. Anyway, moving on. With the seasonal storyline quests requiring completion of expunge every mission, each one it introduced, that felt like a great source for those armor rewards. For the first 4 weeks of the new expunge missions, players should expect to earn a piece of high stat seasonal armor, in addition to some decrypted data on their first time through the mission. Once players have earned their high stat armor set by completing the first 4 missions, remaining weekly expunge missions upon first completion will reward a seasonal weapon with an additional perk choice in the final column instead of an armor piece. I love this, by the way. I don't want to turn stupid crap into a machine. I want to do something to get the thing. Here we go. Secret mission. Starting on June 15th, a new Pinnacle activity challenge will roll out connected to expunge missions, providing an additional Pinnacle reward source each week for the remainder of the season. This coincides with an additional layer of replayability being introduced to expunge missions, along with unveiling the final 3 Spicer Gauntlet upgrades, which will provide additional rewards and a source of high stat double perk seasonal gear from expunge each week for as long as the activity is available to players. This is them telling us this is what that is. That secret Vex mission that's connected to expunge that I talked about in my secret Vex mission video. There it is, right here. So June 15th, you'll want to be here. I will be streaming that live on YouTube. Again, I stream on both YouTube and Twitch. But usually if I start streaming on YouTube, then I'll go to Twitch. I don't usually go from Twitch to YouTube, just the way that things work in the streaming atmosphere. So when was the last time they actually gave us a new PvP map? I believe 600 days. No, 600 days for a Gambit map, I think is what it is. But anyway, yeah. Moving on. So lots of Lost Sector things. Lots of missed notes. By the way, did you know that they removed the Glimmer cost to apply shaders? If you didn't know that, it's there. They fixed an issue where players weren't able to join using the join command on Steam. They fixed an issue that prevented Reverie Dawn Armor from taking shaders. Reduced the kill requirements to unlock Null Composure's Gambit ornament. I haven't even started on that yet. I haven't even played Gambit once this season. It has been so insane for me the last month that I haven't even touched Gambit. I've gotten like my raids in. I've done my streams and stuff like that, but it has not been anything. Like I have not been able to play the game really at all. I haven't even done expunge, chat. I haven't even done it, which I've heard I'm going to love because it's platforming, which I love. They fixed an issue where the Contender Plate Titan Chest ornament would not show up under Universal Ornaments for those who purchased the Guardian Games bundle. So we got a couple of known issues and things like that. Nothing too crazy. The Feast of Light perk on Star Eater scales is not working as intended. Obtaining Exodus Down armor does not count towards the Red War collection. The Cache of Kabir chest at the end of the Vault of Glass may list incorrect perks and weapon types on the available weapon caches. Like, for example, if you go in and you try and get a Fatebringer is actually keyed to what it was in D1. It was an energy weapon because it had like arc attached to it. Whereas in Destiny 2, it's a kinetic weapon. We'll have to see what the time lost versions of that in the master version of it are. So, and of course we have all of our cool videos and stuff like that. You should definitely, guys, if you didn't get a chance, you should watch this. This is one of the guys that's actually going to help me edit some of my videos and stuff like that and put together some montages for me. So his name is Shadow. I met him through Castle. Super nice guy, but he got Moment of the Week. He made a clip with every sniper in Destiny 2. Definitely something to check out. You're going to do expunge on stream today? I am. I'm going to do that over on Twitch because I haven't done it yet, and I want you guys to do it. We'll do some Nightfalls, we'll do some VoGs and stuff like that, and go from there. But guys, that is your TWAB. I'm trying to sound like as that across. So, man, I'm pretty sure you were right about the emblems being maps. I think they're maps to the labyrinths. I'm telling you guys, when it comes to secret missions and dungeons, it's where I live. I wish, guys, I could have been making a lot of stuff on Vault of Glass. It's just not been possible for me this week. I've been at work most days until at least 4 or 5, if not longer, or taking care of work to make sure we're good. But again, everything changes on Tuesday. This coming Tuesday, the whole situation changes. So I hope you'll join us. You come on over here. Guys, I'm going to head over to twitch.tv/ManoDestra, not ManoDestra777 anymore. ManoDestra, because I'm partnered now, which I'm pretty psyched about. But we're going to head over there. I'm going to be live there in just a little bit. We'll do some Nightfalls. If you want to do some expunges, if you need to do your Presage, because Presage is back as a Pinnacle. Or maybe you want to get a nice roll on a Dead Man's Tale. I do have all the platforms again now. So I've got my PS5, I've got my Xbox Series X, we got my PC. Heck, I've even got Stadia, but I can't do as much on Stadia. So it's because I don't have the Beyond Light over there. But anyway, you get the idea, everybody. Thanks for answering my questions and keeping us updated. Absolutely. So guys, we're going to head over to twitch.tv/ManoDestra. You're going to have to give me like 2 or 3 minutes to switch over, but we'll be over there. I'm going to put the link in chat so you guys don't have to worry about like, wait, where do I go, Mano? I'm not sure where to go. And again, I'm going to be on a heck of a lot more starting on Tuesday. All right. So make sure you swing over to twitch.tv/ManoDestra. Make sure I do that. Thanks everybody for checking into the video. Again, we're going to be doing more of these TWAB read-throughs and things like that on Thursday. On Tuesday, we're going to do always a weekly reset stream, and we're always going to do a Xur video on Friday. So like, well, where's Xur and everything else like that? We did that last summer. It was a hit. Everyone loved it. Join us for that. Come over to twitch.tv/ManoDestra, all one word, and we will see you over there. Thanks, Guardians. I'll see you in just a minute.